All right, Aaron, take it away, bud.
Hey, thanks everyone, and GG on a very fun race. I'm assuming everyone can hear me?
Yes.
All right, so just a moment here. Okay, good. I didn't actually have eyes on gaming and screen, so there we are. Dragon Warrior Randomizer Winter League 2025 Week 1 recap. We can see the point standings through our illustrious graphs created by Archfield Monk, the Archfield Monk. This is the top 16 on the first page, which again doesn't mean a whole lot right now. And then everyone else throughout the league. Again, 1 week doesn't really matter. The last 2 years, we've had somebody lose the first 2 races and then come back and still make the playoffs. In fact, I think it'd almost be 3, but 3 years ago, somebody got 2 points in one of the races because it was a 3-person group. So, getting those points early helps, but it's no guarantee. And rough result at the beginning doesn't guarantee that you're going to get knocked out or anything like that. Anyone else who's in here can feel free to talk to if they want to, if they have something interesting to add. But Kamian, I think your crop's a little bit off.
Interesting for week 2, though.
Yes, with week 2, which is Big Swamp, no Hurtmore, no problem. We have the big scary flags right at the front, Big Swamp and no Hurtmore. Not the sort of things you'd expect to see at week 2. However, most if not all the other flags make this a lot easier than normal. So we have no armor in Charlock. We have random monster experience in gold. That's not the normal chaos. It's just the enemies. So just the enemies will be randomized with their, just the rewards for the enemies. So your red slime will still be 3 hit points, but it could give you 255 experience.
Looking like we got the speed hacks, the summer sail, the small map. Ooh, you're not going to have to travel very far. Very fast EXP. Ooh, we're off to the races, folks. Another easy Charlock in the alt-run algorithm. I'm not familiar with that. Aaron, would you like to explain that, please?
Yes, the combination of easy Charlock and the alt-run algorithm, I like to call them the easy alt-run flags. The alt-run algorithm is always on in chaos, but what it basically does is in the overworld, one step back. What it does is that every enemy has a run block value attached to it. This is the reason why Stonemen and Armor Knights and Red Dragons are harder to run from than everything else, like to an extraordinary amount. But in Chaos, because of just the way Chaos works, instead of assigning random group numbers to people, you take those values and you assign them to areas. So and to kind of put that in perspective, so when you're not in Chaos, a Red Dragon in the overworld will have a run block rate of 1 inside of a cave, inside of Hawksness, or the first floor of Charlock. For whatever reason, the top floor of Charlock's a different group. It'll be group 2. Group 3 is inside of a cave, and group 4 is inside of Charlock itself. And the easy Charlock thing reduces that run block rate from a 100% of agility to 75%. So it does make it easier. And in a standard thing, the way you'd have to look at this is that Armor Knights and Red Dragons are going to be easier to run from in Charlock, and Stonemen, of course, but everything else is going to be harder. To where Blue Dragons and Armor Knights are almost the exact same run block rate. So what that does probably more than anything is it makes repelling in Charlock, if you can, a lot more valuable. And if you see an enemy like a Blue Dragon or an Axe Knight who has something like the Wombo combo, you probably need to think about that a bit more, but overall should reduce run block rates. The other thing I'd add is if your agility is fairly low, that's going to have a compounding effect. Really high agility is going to make everything easier to run from. Really low agility makes everything harder, and it could be a lot harder when you're looking at like sub 60.
Makes sense. You see the flag. Up top, so I'll give it to Aaron for the reveals.
All right, yeah. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the Discord. the all run stuff is more. I think it sounds more imposing than it is. You do a couple seeds and you'll figure it out pretty quick. But yes, moving on to the group reveals. Oh, Group 1.
Ooh, that's gonna be a rough one. I can see that being rough for Group 1.
Yeah, we have a couple of people who finished second, Destiny and Miplet in their races, and then Stags and Hoodie both had a bit of a struggle in there. So it'll be a chance for redemption or a chance to kind of keep pushing forward with the early success. And here's Group 2. 3 group winners in this one. This is going to be a very interesting group. I'm looking forward to this. Venicus is a longtime rival of mine, and Chadbird is probably my cross-rando rival since we've matched up in 2 different randomizers. And we haven't raced exactly in Z2R, but we sort of did, and I think we have a little bit of a rival there too.
Yeah, from what I'm looking at in week 2 for that Group 2, somebody's gonna be a sole first place winner by the end of this if things play out as it should.
Well, we can see too. Opti had a pretty good race, just wasn't quite able to get the big points. I think had a rough Dragon Lord fight, but yeah, these first 2 weeks, I don't place much more than like a 5-10% advantage to anybody. Oh, Group 3, Yakko, Dabbit, DK9146, and Dweem.
So it looks like something that you would see on one of the weeklies here. This definitely looks like an interesting group for this week.
Yeah, Yakko had a pretty good result. DK almost did. I think he got the same amount of points as Yakko, but he had a bit of a rough Charlock experience, hence the new MO. I think Dabbit and Dweem both played pretty well in the race, just weren't able to get a lot of points. So, again, a chance to bounce back and get some stuff. Although, again, even week 2, poor results in the first 2 weeks don't guarantee anything.
That's an interesting one for the Group 4. We got OOG, RG, Arcturus, and Jacobus in that one.
Yeah, again, there's no winners coming out of week 1 going into this group, but there are a lot of people who played pretty well, and I feel like it's a really fun mix. I know a few of these guys, they race a lot together and stuff, so there might be a little bit of a friendly rivalry going on there.
Looking forward to Group 4.
And in Group 5, Diabetes the Second, Angel FM, Icy Tennis, and Edge.
That's pretty stacked.
Yeah, both Diabetes and Angel had disappointing first-round matchups. Probably looking for a chance to get some points back and having to face each other. We just saw Icy Tennis and Edge. I think every single person in this group has 2 points. But Group 5, not Group 2. So
that is indeed Group 5.
All right, and group number 6, Scarlet Shadow, Cyberdark, Old Vampire Lady, and Juef.
Juef, ooh. They're gonna have a tough climb here. Juef is not one to let a lead go if he gets it.
Yeah, again, some people who didn't quite have the first week result maybe they were expected. Scarlet Shadow looked just about as dominant as anybody in week 1, though. So we'll see if he's able to carry that over. He had such a strong standard tourney result. So coming in to this Winter League has looked really good so far. But yeah, both Cyberdark and Juef right there. And again, OVL had a bit of a rough first race, but always a chance to bounce back here.
Indeed. I'll say this right now. Scarlet, I'm not going to take too lightly of Scarlet. Scarlet and Juef, I can see them going 1-2 here. But again, any given week, you can be that top dog. So I'm going to be watching for this group specifically, because this might end up being one of your dark horses for this Winter League.
All right, well, Group 7, our official group of death, in this week. Ziggy, 5 points. Quinn Patrick, 5 points. Archfield, 3 points. Almost 5, if not for a YOLO Hurtmore. And Ladab, 5 points. So this one is, everyone in this group made the playoffs last year.
This is what we call the unlucky 7, the disgusting group. If you're in this group, you are the creme de la creme. So I can already tell this is going to be a disgusting week for Group 7. Somebody's going to have their feelings hurt.
Yeah, well, again, they all have pretty decent first week results, so if things don't turn out too great, it's not debilitating. I think it's the second week in a row we put Ziggy in what we would consider to be a group of death. So if he wins this one, then he gets to go into the 10-point person group next week. So he's just going to have a fun time the whole way through.
You know what? You're not wrong.
All right, Group 8, C. Parsley, Sandcraft, Bob Pineapple, and Harvey's.
This is going to be an interesting group overall. Any winners coming out of this one right here?
Well, they're all winners in my heart, but no winners in week 1. In fact, I think Sandcraft at 3 points out of there. This will be a chance for redemption, again, for the rest to kind of claw back into this, to not let the early result pull them down too far.
I can be honest with you. This is definitely one of those. This is definitely this group here. You can get somebody out of here who can have a. This is a good week 1. I would say. This group here, somebody's going to have a good week, just overall. A good time to be had here in Group 8.
Indeed. Now, Group 9, we have Beta Strep, Sausage Link, Sonny Wrath 11, and Jay Coper.
A solid Group 9. Every one of them are solid players here.
Yeah, we have Beta and Sausage both coming in with 5 points. Jay Coper with 3 almost got the win just a couple of nights ago, but his opponent went in at 119 AP and managed to win. So it'd be interesting. I think this is actually a playoff. Oh, no, this isn't a playoff rematch. This is a week 5 rematch from last year between Beta and Jay Coper, who seem to keep matching up. They like to face off against each other.
This will be interesting to see. Because you got cross rival. You got game rivals in this particular group here. But I wouldn't put Shawnee out of this yet. They might just come out and sneak a fast one and take 5 from any of these guys.
Absolutely. Well, that ends our 4-person groups. Now on to the 3-person groups, which, let's see, it's 8, 9. Group number 10 is Big Slamoo, Zaytrex, and Just Chris.
Ooh, now this is a group. Now this is a good 3 group right here.
Yeah, it's interesting because if you don't think about week 1, you're like, okay, well, Slamoo probably has the advantage here, but he's actually coming in with the least amount of points of the 3 runners here. Zaytrex with the 3 in week 1, and Just Chris pulling out a win in that race. And not to say in the race against Angel because he beat 2 other people too, but it was a pretty impressive win to get through that one.
Not gonna lie there, this is gonna be pretty interesting here.
Yes, chat pointing out there are a lot of underscores in Just Chris's name, more than Big Slamoo, who we usually consider to be the underscore. All right, Group 11 is Pav, Ryguy, and Niminva.
Now that's a name I haven't heard in a while. Niminva.
Yeah, Pav with the week 1 win, kind of. I wouldn't say it was surprising because I think he won 2 times last year, but it was a pretty thick group, so it was a pretty good win. Ryguy, I think, came in second in his race. I'm trying to remember where Nim was. Nim picking up 2 points as well. So it should be a good race. Again, Nim and Ryguy have been around for a long time. Pav's still pretty new. I think this is his 3rd tournament, but he's been right on the border of making playoffs or making brackets both times. And our last group, Group 12, is Kigless, High Spirits, and Mand. Again, another group on paper that's super scary. Kigless with the win. Mand has made the playoffs here in Winter League before. He's made the playoffs in Standard too. High Spirits, of course, the winner of, I think, the first official Winter League. I know there was a Chaos tournament before it, but I think we counted the one afterwards, the first official Winter League tournament. So he pulled out with 3 points in that race. I think Pav was in before. So it should be a really good race. That is an interesting matchup again. See if Kigelis can keep going. He was in the playoffs last year, him and Mandor. High Spirits wasn't, but he's been practicing and playing a lot more, and we think that he's going to be up to snuff when it comes to these races. All right, well, that is it. I actually don't have any more slides came in. I thought there was an exit one, but there isn't. So there we go. The groups will be assigned to you shortly. Feel free to schedule. You can try to schedule a race tomorrow if you really want to, but I don't know. If you want coverage, I don't recommend it because of the Super Bowl. I have a feeling, even if a lot of us don't necessarily care about it, that it might just be difficult finding volunteers. But if you want to, I mean, if that's the only time you can do it, go ahead. But again, groups should be assigned pretty shortly. And again, thanks everyone for a very exciting and fun week one. Try to schedule as, at least try to get your schedule out in the groups as quickly as you can so that we can, figure out if it does have to happen right away, we can get that going, et cetera. Although I know we have a couple of people who are going to be out these first couple of days anyway. Any last thoughts? Anyone else who's still in chat? All right, I don't see anyone. I saw a comment about possibly rating OOG 37, so I think we're just going to go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and get that ready, Kamian, if you want to. Well, I guess you don't have to do anything. So again, thanks everyone for sticking around and watching the reveal. I'll have this group set up pretty well. Go ahead and raid OOG, who is playing through, I think, Dragon Warrior 3 Randomizer. Should be a fun time. I think he does his own kind of spin on the Catterday situation. So on behalf of Sinister and LOZ, great job on commentary tonight. On behalf of our wonderful trackers, Betastrap and Shahali, and Kamian stepping at the last minute for the restream. Much appreciated. I've been Aaron to you too. Have a great night. Everyone stay safe and take care.